Squad broadcasting you from Seoul, Korea. This is the Averatec-Intel Classic, a 128-person tournament in Korea, the largest tournament and the tournament with the largest prize pool. We're big everywhere down here at GOM TV. I understand there were some stream problems in, I believe, the first VOD, but I think that has been fixed now. We do still have the data saved, so if you still want to hear an English cast of that first game, the first round of the tournament, Lucifer versus Wannabe, we do have that up, so please feel free to check that out. In about a day or two, we'll have the VOD on there for you. Our next match is going to be Baby versus Robbie, Terran versus Zerg. Baby, the youngest pro gamer out there, hence the name Baby. And Robbie, a fairly new Zerg player on the scene. We've had a lot of interesting figures playing here today. We already saw Toss Girl. Unfortunately, she lost. I will be honest, I was rooting for Toss Girl. It's too bad it didn't turn out in her favor, but at least we can all admit she's probably better looking than effort. So she wins in that category. Here's a shot of Baby and Robbie. I don't believe Robbie actually has played in a tournament yet. I did not get the chance to ask the person who gives me the stats. Baby, we already saw Baby lose in the last game Baby played on the GOM streamer. I believe the VOD is still up. And unfortunately, it might be tough for him to come back and win this. Baby does not have a lot of experience playing on the big stage, but at the same time, nor does Robbie. That might even be one of the reasons why these gamers are paired. I'm not sure if they pair them randomly or if they're carefully picked out for where they go. But either way, I think the game's going to be great. Again, a Terran versus Zerg. First map is going to be on Blue Storm, also known... no, it's just known as Blue Storm. I was so used to talking about Wuthering Heights, also known as Hills of Storm, that I almost made up another name for Blue Storm. Blue Storm is one of these maps that's very popular amongst the pro gamers. It's one of these maps that, you know, it's popular everywhere, and we've seen a lot of games on it. Everybody has a lot of experience on it, and that makes for some interest.
사실은 백진영 선수가 저희 팀에 들어온 지 아직 한 달 정도밖에 안 된 선수예요. 저 이번 3월 드래프트에 통과해서 저희 팀에 정식으로 입단하게 됐는데 아직까지 플레이를 한 달밖에 지켜보진 못했지만 기본기가 굉장히 깔끔해요. 저그 유저 같은 경우는 굉장히 손이 지저분하고 그 화면 전환이라든지 기본적인 넘버링이 굉장히 불안정하고 조금 난잡한 경우가 많은데 백진영 선수는 굉장히 기본기가 깔끔하고요. 그리고 APM도 어느 정도 나오고 그러니까 전체적으로 기본기가 굉장히 좋은 선수예요. 이번 경기도 백진영 선수가 이제 긴장하지 말고 본인한테 좋은 경험이다라고 생각을 하고 열심히 준비한다면 좋은 결과가 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 이번에 2008 상반기 드래프트에 삼성전자칸에 지명돼서 지금 합류한 백진용이라고 합니다. 일단 유니폼을 입고 하는 경기가 처음이고 방송 경기도 일단 처음인데 굉장히 부담스럽지만 제가 연습 열심히 해서 팬분들이 보시기 좋은 게임 그리고 제가 이기는 게임, 멋있는 게임 보여드리겠습니다.
Just a brief introduction for Robbie. I'm not too sure what exactly he said. Probably something like, yo, sup, I eat newbies for breakfast and I'm going to win this game. I believe this is, again, his first, yes it is, he has his first game here as a pro gamer, so a lot of pressure riding on him. Can he beat the 13-year-old baby genius, Baby? Sometimes I just kind of think of Baby as like this little younger version of Flash that's probably going to be really, really good. By the time puberty kicks in, I think there are a lot of these younger Terran players that just turn out to be so strong if they can just get a few more years in there. And with that being said, I'm excited to see how Baby will perform against this pro gamer. So neither of these players have a ton of experience. Doesn't mean they're not good. It just, as I said, it just means they don't have a lot of experience. So we could see this game, we could see a game where players get very nervous and perhaps fall apart, or maybe not play their best game. Or we could see some gamers that actually perform very well under pressure and buckle down and just come out on top. And I think the game's going to get underway here pretty soon. Again, the map Blue Storm, this is a map that we could possibly see some proxy barracks rushing due to the one-on-one factor. On the other hand, we could see a pretty withdrawn game. Mutalisk Micro, critical on this map, especially surrounding the Terran expansion. Terrans generally do get that expansion up pretty fast as well on this map. If Terran loses that first army, or in the first push, it's usually going to be very difficult for Terran to recover since Zerg can take so much of the map. Expansions are very spread out, so Terran has to really decide where they want to go. They can't simply push in one direction and slowly chew their way into their opponent's main. So map dynamics are very important on this. One thing also to note... No, excuse me, actually, that's not interesting. Again, Blue Storm, I think it's also a map where we could see the SCV sent out a little bit earlier. Well, never mind.
2008 TG Sabo Intel Classic. StarCraft Universe, welcome to the Korea Ultimate Tournament. Get ready.
Probably saw in that intro I was holding a gun. Don't worry, it's not a real gun, it's just my hand shaped like a gun as I attempt to look cool. The game has begun. Robbie at the top right, and of course Baby at the bottom left. As I was saying before, I got cut off real fast. Sometimes Terrans send the SCV out pretty soon simply because they know they can delay the expanding hatchery, and that is a pretty critical maneuver if it turns out to work. The stats sheet I was handed for these players doesn't really have that much information on it, or I would have told you guys more. These players are simply put so new that there's just not too much we could say about them until we see the game develop. Now, will Zerg possibly 9-pull? Sometimes we see the Zergs do that on this map. However, I think the safest build is going to be the spawning pool on 12, followed up with a hatchery. And then again, I'm a Protoss player, so I question how qualified I am to even talk about this matchup, but hopefully I'll deliver you guys the best analysis possible. Overlord's out. There's one of the fans or photographers taking pictures of the gamers. At almost every StarCraft event, you'll always see people showing up with these really high-tech cameras just taking tons of photos of these gamers. They're kind of like idols down here in Korea. People are just fascinated with StarCraft gamers, which is pretty cool, IMO. So the SCV is moving out now, not soon enough to delay that hatchery. Interestingly enough, though, the Zerg did send the drone out as well. And is he going to take the gas? Maybe he's just trying to... No. I don't know. He just want to do a little ring around the rosy at the Vespian gas and then keep checking out what's going on. It would be kind of weird if he did take the gas, but, he tricked me. Well done. Clearly, though, since he sent the drone out, he did want to get a very, very good idea of what his opponent's doing rather than simply waiting for the Overlord to show up and he turned out to get down there late. Now he's going to, of course, send the drone back to mine a few more resources. Well, at least gather resources a little bit quicker. The command center would finish, and I don't think that Zerg... well, we'll see if Zerg's going to be offensive. Oh! SCV drilling the drone to death. Probably one of the more painful ways to die in StarCraft. Well, actually, brutally. That would definitely be up there. So since Zergling's going to get that third... Or since Zerg, is going to get the third hatchery, we're not going to see any Zerglings trying to rush in here at the front. Sometimes Zergs make 8, Zerglings and then try to move in and take out some Marines so that the Terran don't have that much momentum in the early bid game. Now it appears as though our Terran player, Baby, is going to move out and force the Zerg to make a sunken colony, since there is no sunken colony out there yet. I don't know if Robbie's ready for it, though. He doesn't seem to be responding. He's making drones. This could be really, really, really bad for Robbie. Robbie's still making drones. Robbie, you need to get a sunk. Oh, but Baby backing off. SCV's being transferred. And, in fact, Baby's not going to try to move forward. Maybe Baby assumes that there's Zerglings hidden somewhere. I'm not sure. Now we see the barracks. Another barracks, being made. I wonder if Baby's going to go for that heavy barracks intensive build on this map, like we saw Toscroll do. But I'm just not sure. I think that it's probably a build that favors gamers who, I think it's a build that really favors StarCraft players who can actually control their units very, very well. And on a map like this, I think it could turn out to be good. Although I do see a lot of Terrans actually go for that fast command center. The second command center after their expansion, simply because they can secure that easily as well. The game really starts to develop once we get past the mineral naturals being taken. Because from there, there's so many different locations you can expand to. You can really force your opponent to attack certain locations and then counterattack somewhere else. Zerglings now on the move. There's a lot of Zerglings. They do have the speed upgrade. They're going to rush in here and try to take out these Marines, but the fire bat is there, and it does prove to be ineffective as Baby has held that off. Now we see Baby rushing forward. Robbie going to have to back off. He's lost those Zerglings, so he will not have that much control of the middle of the map. Baby continuing to close in. Now a drone moving out, possibly going to expand to some critical location. I would assume the bottom right. That's where Zergs normally expand next on this map. Another fire bat in the back, just in case there's going to be a counterattack. Robbie now making a sunk in colony, and I think a Spire. Yes, Spire on the way. Spire almost finished. The upgrade for the Terran Engineering Bay is on the way. The attack upgrade, of course. Now Zerglings moving around. I think Robbie's going to be having a very difficult time because even though yeah, I would be hiding if I saw a fire bat too. Zerg will have a very difficult time trying to expand simply because they do not have that many Zerglings to accompany the Mutalisks. This gives Terran map control, and Zerg really needs to get an expansion up pretty soon here. The Mutas are out, and the Den is on the way, which means Lurkers are going to come out here very soon. And this fire bat still smoking that cigarette. Have you ever noticed a fire bat never takes a cigarette out of its mouth? I mean, talk about fast lung cancer. Now here comes the Mutalisks moving out. Now Zerg has finally managed to expand. If Zerg can get the Lurker upgrade in time before Terran pushes out, Zerg will secure that expansion, but it looks like Baby might find that already. And coming onto the main now, here comes Robbie's Mutas, but I think Baby's placement might be too good. We're going to have to take a look in the main. Does he have enough turrets? It doesn't matter because he backed up. Oh! And the drone's been taken out, so I'm interested in seeing, will Robbie back off with the Mutalisks and try to secure another expansion, or will he just hinge most of this game on his Mutalisk harassment? Some very nice Muta micro here. Oh, taking out another Marine. And Zerglings now moving in here to take out this turret. turrets now, turret plural. And this is going to be awful for the Terran if Robbie can get enough Mutalisk Micro. Oh, but a counterattack over here in the main expansion, and this is going to be very bad news for the Zerg. He's going to lose too many drones, and now Terran maybe chasing back the Mutalisks and Zerglings. If Baby can micro his Mutalisks, out-micro those Mutalisks well enough, it should be good, but no. Well, he controls them well, but I think Baby could close in very quickly. The Lurkers are now morphing. I don't think Baby's army is in a very good location. And these Lurkers absolutely have to finish in time. There are just not enough Mutalisks to take this on. Here are the Lurkers now. Baby will have to back off. Oh! And one more Marine is taken out. Baby hopefully has rebuilt his turrets. The science facility is done, so there's a vessel being produced, and siege mode is being upgraded. And it looks like the Mutalisk count is so low for Robbie, he's not going to have enough support to really move in there with the Lurkers. Robbie really only having a lot of one kind of unit at any given point in time, and we can see the Baby's control is just too good, even for a Baby. There is just no chance for these Lurkers to get too close to him. Baby doing a great job of scouting around the map. Here come the Lurkers again. Baby backs off. And he could scan and take this out. Yes, he will! He's starting to lose a little bit of his control in the game, but now the vessel's out and the tank is in the game. The tank, of course, outranges the Lurkers, even when not in siege mode. Zerg has not gotten another expansion up yet, and that's very bad for the Zerg. I think it's pretty much absolutely necessary for Zerg to get another Vespian Gas Geyser so that they can get the Defilers out. Otherwise, it's mostly going to be Mutalisks and Lurkers. We might see a possible counterattack, although it seems as though Baby is aware of this. Robbie doing anything he possibly can to pressure his opponent into not getting near him. Attack and armor. Looks like the Lurkers are now going to get pushed back. Bunker's getting thrown up by Baby. Baby playing this perfectly. I predict a win right now for Baby unless he mismicros his Marines. He cannot afford to lose that vessel, though! No! He manages to save it just in time. Vessel's at half health. And the clock is ticking. Baby's army is growing larger. And he's getting a little bit too close to that vessel again. He has to be very careful until he at least gets another vessel. Oh, and he's taking out Robbie's forces in the middle. Robbie, smart move by him, putting nice Lurker shot though, putting a lot of Lurkers in the middle there, trying to catch the reinforcements. And a nice stim by Baby coming in here. And it looks like, GG, Robbie just got pushed too hard, and Baby just too good right now. That little 13-year-old badass just played excellently that game. And with that being said, I think Robbie is going to have a hard time taking on this Baby, this infamous StarCraft Baby that is just so good. Next map, as it has been constantly, is going to be Katrina. A very different map from Bluestorm. 4-player map. A lot of fast exploit on this map as well. So, maybe we'll even see a fast command center from Baby, since he's already got the advantage. I am looking at Baby's booth now, and he seems to have a little smirk on his face. He's clearly pretty happy that he's already up in that one game. A lot of times when I talk to pro gamers, they say that it always feels so good to win the first game because you know, first of all, that you're at least capable of beating your opponent, but second of all, that you know you have room to mess up. So, this is a very macro-intensive map. it's also very critical. Where do you expand, and what time do you do it? Especially for the Zerg. Katrina has a lot of, well, it's very interesting. Counterattacks are very strong on Katrina, and trying to draw the Terran army out as far away from their main as possible, and then counterattacking is a very viable strategy. Now, I have seen Baby just now join the game, so I assume we're still waiting on Robbie to join. And okay, now Robbie has joined the game, and it seems as though they're both ready. So stay